Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 24th of May 2021, and big week coming up, not least of which Saturday is going to be a huge shopping trip which I'll be going to, so greatly looking forward to that. But I kicked off this week over breakfast looking at a couple of videos on YouTube, and the first one was, let's just have a look here, something called the Dark Horse Podcast, episode 80, Big Pharma versus Ivor, and it's only about 20 minutes long, 21 minutes long, but if you just want to get up to speed on the very basics of what's going on with Ivor, if you've heard of the thing but you don't know too much, well worth a look, because they kind of just put a nice little slant on it, which is, gets you up to speed really quickly is what I'm trying to say. So I'll leave a link to that in the description box and comments below. Now, I watched another video. This time it was from, the video is called Unveid Lives Matter. And from something called Trends Journal and a guy called Gerald Salenti. Sorry, I'm just looking down at my sort of notes here. But this guy Gerald Salenti, he kind of puts across this sort of funny vibe, like kind of a New York mafia kind of wise guy, a little bit like the little guy out of that 1990s film Goodfellas. So although I'm sure in real life he's kind of as honest as the day is long, and never had anything to do with the mafia at all, but it just is kind of little vibe, is just his little thing that he sort of likes to do. And so he's quite entertaining from that point of view. A lot of swearing, as you might expect, so if you don't like swearing, probably best not to watch that one. He also promotes this thing, the Trends Journal, quite a lot. Reasonably hard sell, but anyway, the main body of the video, he is kind of calling out the various idiots running the show and causing us all these problems, and he kind of does it in a very kind of mafia wise guy type of fashion. So quite entertaining and sort of, a little bit educational as well, so worth having a look at that. So another video I saw, one of the latest Hugo Talks videos, Israel cancel green passport rules. Now, I'm sure we all know that Israel has been pretty much the top country as far as the big V is concerned. They got pretty much the whole of their population jabbed up as quickly as they could, and all those who have refused it there have been subject to some pretty nasty kind of attacks, and they brought in this sort of green passport, as I think they called it there, and it even got to the extent where you couldn't sit on certain chairs on the beach unless you'd had the jab. So they're probably one of the countries who were most into these things. But according to Hugo Talks, the health minister, or whoever he is in Israel, has just announced the cancellation of the green passports. Okay, it's with certain caveats, like, if there's any kind of resurgence of the virus, we'll soon bring it back. But it seems for now, at least, the whole idea of it's been cancelled. Not really sure why that is. Be interesting to find out more about that in due course. Hopefully it's because they've just had so much stick and difficulty about it that they've been forced to retreat on it. Now, I'm just going to paint a little scenario for you. As you may know, I'm an electrician, so I get called in to do some minor installation works, new sockets, new lights, and also fault finding and what you'd call maintenance work. And I want to paint a funny little scenario for you. So just imagine, you've called me out, none of your upstairs lights are working. You came down one day or went up one day, found they're not working, and so you've called me in. I kind of get my little test meter out, do a bit of fault finding, and come back to you sort of half an hour later and say, oh yeah, I found what the problem is. This little section up here, you got a short there, so that's what your problem is. See you later, bye. And off I go. And you'd be thinking, well, hang on, mate, aren't you going to fix it? You told me what the problem is, but I need you to fix it as well. Oh, no, that's not my job. No, you have to get someone else to fix it. If I was like that, I'm sure I'd soon start getting a pretty bad reputation around my locality. But that's kind of how I feel a lot of these people telling us about all these problems we have regarding the virus and the big V and all the rest of it. And there's a lot of people out there telling us what the problem is, where the problem is, how big the problem is, but they're all short on solutions, which kind of goes against the grain as far as I'm concerned, being a maintenance electrician. I'm all about, knowing what the problem is, but then finding solutions as well to get the thing sorted out. And there's been precious little of that with this whole situation, apart from this thing that I came across at the start of the year called the Greater Reset. That's not to be confused with the Great Reset. The Great Reset, of course, is the World Economic Forum one, the evil one, that's supposedly going to try and subject us all to this horrible dystopian nightmare future. But there's this very interesting group of guys and girls who have called themselves the Greater Reset, just as kind of a bit of a Mickey take of the Great Reset. And they are actually offering solutions. And they had this event which they called the Activation event back in late January, and they've got a bigger, better version just starting today. It's starting midday today, but that's kind of West Coast American time, so it's not really going to be starting here in this country in the UK until about 8-9 o'clock tonight. But so I'm giving you a little bit of warning to look out for it. So you want to go to thegreaterreset.org. Again, I'll leave a link to it in the comments and description box below, so you can go and check it out yourself. But what they do, it kind of goes on all day, Monday to Friday, loads of different people talking. And today, you've got people like sort of Robert, the senator guy whose name I probably can't say. You've got him speaking. You've got Dolores Cahill and various other illustrious people like that. And that's just the first day. So really, really well worth checking out. But what I like about these guys, the Greater Reset, is they don't just talk about the problem. They do talk about it, but they then start offering solutions, all sorts of things, everything from how to start growing your own vegetables in your back garden, even if you've got hardly any room whatsoever, all the way up to kind of trying to sort of get yourself away from the mainstream and the system by kind of perhaps trading, setting up sort of trading networks, setting up what they call freedom cells, which is kind of, I suppose, what's called intentional communities. And you can start them off really, really small and grow them up. But they explain it way better than what I can do. So all I'm going to do is just give you the heads up to the greaterreset.org and what they call their activation event, kind of going from the 24th to the 28th of May, so this week basically. And I think they've got a couple of extra bits going on at the weekend. But I'll leave it there because there's plenty for you to go and watch and check out. I'll leave all the links in the description box below, like I say. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.